If I may, where does he rank in terms of some of the prospects you've scouted? Let's call it over the last decade or so.
Matt, he's the best prospect we've seen since LeBron James. I've been doing this for 20 years.
The best prospect since LeBron James is a crazy amount of pressure coming into the NBA, considering everything LeBron James has accomplished.
LeBron James, a shot in history.
So today we're going to be swapping LeBron James with Victor in NBA history. See if Victor can accomplish what LeBron did and more.
Wow. Is this Jurassic Park? Stash crazy, got me older than a T-Rex. Foot tripping in the snow, left the shorts free. Wait till I keep popping.
And we had to bring it back to where all the hype started for LeBron James at St. Vincent St. Mary High School. That was Victor's senior year, and they had an undefeated season going into the state playoffs. Victor was drawing national attention, drawing headlines everywhere, and they went on to win the state championship. But since the year 2002-2003, Victor opted out of college and went straight to the NBA, where he would get drafted #1 overall by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, Victor's rookie year did not go as great as expected. He only averaged 11.2 points per game and 7.5 rebounds, which isn't bad for a rookie, but compared to what LeBron did, not anywhere near as good. The Cavs had the worst record in the NBA at 26-56 and ended up missing the playoffs, which brought us into year 2, where Victor was up to an 84 overall. He had a lot better of a year this year, averaging 15.5 points per game and 8.8 rebounds. Once again, they missed the playoffs, but they did improve this year as they were the 11th seed in the East. And year 3 was kind of the same story. Victor improved in overall and stat-wise, they just did not make the playoffs. And Victor winning his first award of his career with the Defensive Player of the Year, averaging 2.4 blocks, 1.3 steals this season. We did miss the playoffs once again, though. In year 5, they finally made the playoffs, getting the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference, matching up against Al Horford and the 3-seeded Atlanta Hawks. First 2 games were in Atlanta. We came back to Cleveland, 1-1 series, but the Hawks did not win another game as we won the next 3, winning the series 4-1. The next round, we played the 2-seeded Knicks, which I don't even know how they were the 2 seed. We got by them easy, 4-2. At the Eastern Conference Finals, we matched up against the Celtics team with Rajon Rondo, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce. And it did not go as planned. We got gentlemen sweeped 4-1, and we got knocked out of the playoffs. Next season, Victor won his first MVP award. Look at these stats. These stats are crazy. 33 points a game, almost 10 boards and 10 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. And we made the playoffs this year and made the Eastern Conference Finals once again, matching up against the Orlando Magic. Now, we went down 3-1 to start the series against the Orlando Magic, but we did bring back all the way to go to a Game 7. And we were gonna hop in if this was close, but the Magic just absolutely blew us out in Game 7, and they are going to the finals. In year 7, Victor won the MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, putting up 33.1 points per game, 11.5 boards. I mean, you see the stats, 2.4 steals, 2.3 blocks. So he's one of the best players, if not the best player in the league right now. But because the Cavs roster was so weak, I mean, look at this. We were the 11th seed and we didn't even get to make the playoffs. So we ended up deciding to leave in the offseason, and I'll say the Cleveland fans were not happy at all.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
But he ended up joining the Miami Heat with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, forming an NBA super team. And this team was absolutely overpowered. We got the 1st seed in the East this season, going 67-15. We matched up against the 8-seeded Bucks in the first round and swept them. Then they played the Hawks in the second round and ended up sweeping them as well. In the Eastern Conference Finals, the Heat matched up against the 66-16 Chicago Bulls with MVP Derrick Rose. This series was going back and forth as D Rose was impossible to stop, but Derrick Rose did not have the roster the Miami Heat had with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade supporting Victor Wembanyama. So we ended up taking the series and going on to play the Spurs in the NBA Finals. Now, this is kind of like the Spurs team that LeBron played in the Finals, but Kawhi Leonard wasn't even in the NBA yet in this season. Spurs put up a good fight, but this Heat team was just way too overpowered as we ended up winning the Finals 4-2. So Victor definitely wasn't the problem in Cleveland. It was just the roster. The roster was absolutely terrible. And add another MVP to Victor's resume, putting up 30.4 points per game, almost averaging a triple-double, 0.1 assists off. We are in Game 7 of the first round right now. I did not think this was going to be a series at all, us against Philly, but Philly has given us a game. We are the 3 seed. Philly is the 6 seed. Lou Will misses a shot right there. Or is that Drew Holiday? My bad. Evan Turner going to the bucket, pulls up, and he's going to miss. Chris Bosh with the board. Victor right here. Victor going to the cup with the fatal, like the floater. I don't know why I didn't just dunk on him, but gets the board and goes up 3 points with 24 seconds left. I feel like they're definitely going to try and pull one. No, Drew Holiday to the bucket, 1-point game, 12 seconds left. Who is going to take the free throws? It looks like Mario Chalmers is the guy they're calling on to hit the free throws. Questionable decision. All right, and Wembanyama hits both, and we're moving on. We then went on to play Boston in the second round, where we swept them 4-0. And then in the Eastern Conference Finals, we matched up against the Atlanta Hawks and beat them 4-1. And in the finals, we would play an OKC team that kind of really never met its full potential, I guess you could say, with Russ and KD. We lost the first two in OKC, won the next two in Miami, and that made it a 2-2 series, but we lost the next two games, and OKC won it all, giving Kevin Durant his first ring. Next season, we're picking this right back up in the finals. It was a very easy Eastern Conference playoff this year for him. They swept almost everybody, and we were matching up against Damian Lillard and the Portland Trail Blazers. The first two games were in Portland, and we split them 1-1, but we actually went on and won the rest of the series. We won 4-1, and that gave Victor his second ring of the video. In year 11 before the playoffs started, we won another MVP. A crazy stat line right here from Victor once again. I have no clue how this happened. We matched up against the 8th seeded Nets, and we got bounced 4-1. But in year 12, Victor decided to leave the Miami Heat and go back to his hometown, the Cleveland Cavaliers. He was teaming up with Kyrie Irving, and while their duo was really nice, don't get me wrong, there was another guard in the Western Conference taking the league by storm and changing the game. You guys might know him, you might not, I don't know. His name's Steph Curry though. And we ended up matching up against the Warriors in the finals. Now I thought this series was going to be a little bit better than it was, maybe like a 7-game series with close games, but the Cavs won 4-2, and honestly when they won, it really wasn't that close of a game. Next season though, Curry came back with a vengeance. He won MVP, almost putting up 40 points per game. And the Cavs matched up against the Warriors in the finals again, but this time it was a lot different. Steph Curry put up 42.5 points per game throughout the whole series, and the Warriors took it home 4-1. And over the offseason, the Warriors would do something that would shock the league.
How are you viewing this move from Durant?
Well, I'm viewing it as the weakest move I've ever seen from a superstar. Plain and simple.
And guess who the Cavs matched up again against in the finals? You guessed it, the Golden State Warriors. But Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond was just way too much. Like, I don't see any team really beating them in this league. They beat us 4-0. And the next season, Kyrie Irving was no longer with us as he went to Boston. And real quick, 98% of you guys that are watching the videos are not subs to the channel. So if you're new to the channel, do me a favor and go hit that sub button. Also drop a like on the video, and let's get right back to it. In the playoffs, we matched up against the Bucks team with Giannis Antetokounmpo, a star who's been rising throughout the league and developing and getting a lot better each year. And we ended up losing 4-2 to them in the second round. The Warriors did go ahead and finish the little 3-peat off and beat the Bucks in the finals 4-0. After losing to the Bucks, that was going to be Victor's last season in Cleveland as he joined the Los Angeles Lakers. And we had an alright season getting the 7th seed, but probably the most unlucky draw in playoff history. We matched up against the Warriors again as the 2 seed. And you can guess what happened. This was Kevin Durant's last year on the Warriors, and they dogged us once again. And they went on and won another ring. I mean, yeah, the Warriors have just been dominating the league for like the past 5 years. Over the offseason, we got Anthony Davis. Him and Victor, the duo, was absolutely unstoppable. And Kevin Durant finally left the Golden State Warriors to join the Nets, and making the West actually winnable once again. Just making the NBA championship winnable once again. That KD and Curry, I mean, that was a crazy team. Like, no, like, you can't beat that. And we made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals, matching up against Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and the Clippers. But the Clippers are the team that would put the video to an end, beating us 4-0 in the Western Conference Finals. And the Nets actually went on to win a championship, so Kyrie and KD actually worked out in the simulation, and KD might just be the GOAT after this simulation. Speaking of Kevin Durant, if you want to see how his career would have went if he was drafted to the Portland Trail Blazers #1, make sure to click the video on the screen. Also drop a like on the video and hit the sub button if you're new to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one.